Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, I got a very short one today, just talking about a brief little story here that was in the Star Wars Insider issue 129 written by Paul S. Kemp, and it's called A Fair Trade. Now, this one features characters of Kemp's that we're going to see later on in a duology that he wrote. And just like every Star Wars Insider story, it's kind of a prequel story to kind of set up and explain something that you're going to see in the upcoming books. They did this a lot to kind of promote their new book. Again, it's a story that you don't have to read to understand the book. It's just something nice that they just felt like, oh, here's a little misadventure before you get to the big book. And it's also introducing a few characters. The two characters it's talking about here is Kedron Focal and Mar Ishdael, and how they acquired the ship, the Junker, which is featured in his upcoming duology I'm going to mention. Again, this is just something that the Star Wars Insider would do. If you can't find the story, you don't have to worry about it. It's not really necessary or relative, or it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's not something you want to go, ooh. And sadly, a lot of the Insider stories were like that. But I also want to talk about something else here, that now that we finished with Legacy of the Force, I just realized something. They never did Star Wars Insider short stories about Legacy of the Force. And that's kind of strange to me, because we saw that in the New Jedi Order. But this time, Star Wars Insider decided to, I guess, pass over those Legacy of the Force stories and opt for some of the other stories that were going on at the same time. It wasn't just about the main storyline with Del Rey. They were also doing prequel books and stuff like that, and a lot of their short stories were reserved for those. Now, I don't know if that's because maybe Aaron Alston, Karen Traviss, and Troy Denning had any short stories to put in. I'm sure if they were asked, they could have, but they didn't. And was that a missed opportunity? In my opinion, yes, I think it was. I do believe Legacy of the Force was great. I know they wanted to learn from New Jedi Order, and they didn't want to oversaturate the market. They felt they did that for New Jedi Order. Me, I do not feel that they did that. I think I stated that a long time ago at the end of that series, but I felt I wanted even more from them. So when they did Legacy of the Force, they really wanted to streamline everything in just 9 books and have nothing else, outside of it. They didn't want to overwhelm the reader with all these side stories, which may have been the reason that there were no short stories about it in the Star Wars Insider. But the thing is, though, it never really crossed my mind until just now as I was preparing to do this video. I was like, hey, there were no short stories from the Legacy of the Force era, which is kind of strange for me, but that's just me. All right, folks, that is all. It's a short one here, but I just wanted to discuss that with you today. I'll be back next time with another video.